Hey guys, Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, I'll be sharing with you 4 common mistakes buyers make in hiring a real estate agent. If you're looking for an agent because you either want to acquire or sell property, then watch this video first. Mistake number 1, not researching or interviewing multiple agents. So you're a buyer searching for a house on Google. You type in, say, Cagayan de Oro houses for sale, and a series of posts pop up. You click the first 2 or 3 houses that you like and contact the agent. Whoever is the first agent to respond to your inquiry, that is who you will usually end up going with, because surveys show that buyers typically go for the first or second agent that responds to them. And there is nothing wrong with this. But this is only the first step. The next step is to do research and due diligence on the agents you were able to contact. Check their social media accounts on who your common friends are. The world is now so connected that due diligence has never been easier. It is now very easy to find someone who knows your agent, and then you can check out what they're like, verify their credentials, check their references. Have they had any previous engagement with your agent? Is this person reliable? What is their track record in their industry? You will need to know if your agent is both reliable and trustworthy before engaging with them. Or better yet, if you know someone who just bought a property or regularly invests in real estate, ask for a referral. Mistake number 2, hiring their relative, friend, or neighbor without checking their qualifications as a real estate agent. Now, there is nothing wrong with wanting to hire someone you know as your agent. Of course, we generally prefer to work with someone we know and trust. But again, don't forget to verify their credentials and check the references. Even if you've been best friends since grade school, there is no assurance that your grade school BFF is a competent agent until you check their references to confirm this. So make sure to double check their qualifications and track record. Talk to their broker what kind of agent they are. If you have a common friend who was able to avail of their service before, get feedback. So there are 3 things to look out for in choosing agents. First is product knowledge. Do they know the product well? Or in case there are things that they don't know, are they able to get the information elsewhere? Next is knowledge of the process. Do they understand the process well? This is even more critical than product knowledge because products can change. There are always new listings or new projects, so it's more important that your agent is familiar with the entire sales process so they can guide you properly from start to finish. And then third is after sales. It is normal for agents to give prompt service during the inquiry stage because, of course, you want to close that deal. But what about after? You need someone who will be there for you, reply to your questions and concerns even after the deal has been closed. Mistake number 3, not setting clear and realistic expectations. It is important for buyers and sellers to communicate their needs and expectations to make sure that their agent is on the same page. So tell your agent what you want in terms of size, location, budget range. When are you planning to buy? What is your preferred financing? And what are your other expectations? And also, let's be realistic with our expectations. As your agent or broker, our job is to provide information about the product and the process and to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible, and also to relay information from the buyer to the seller and vice versa. Now, we cannot control either party. We just more of relay the information and give them the space to decide. I say this because I had a client who reserved a condominium unit with a developer here in CDO, and after a year of paying for her equity, she wanted to transfer to another unit. The developer was okay with the transfer. However, as per their policy, they had to pay 100,000 peso transfer charge. So they requested to waive this charge, which I relayed to the developer. Unfortunately, the request was not granted. Because of this, my client got frustrated and told me that I needed to do something about it and that I needed to do my job correctly as her broker. So I was really upfront with her. I told her that my responsibility is to help you with the process and to relay your requests to the developer, which is what I have been doing. But if you are expecting me to be able to dictate the response of the developer, then I'm sorry, but I don't have the power to do that. What we can do, however, is to make another request if we can lower the transfer charge instead. With a business relationship, much like a personal relationship, it is important that both the client and the agent set expectations for clarity and to avoid conflict. Mistake number 4, not discussing compensation and fees. For agents, it's important that from the get-go, you relay the coverage of your service to the client as well as what the broker's fee is. Standard broker's fee in the Philippines is 5% of the total contract price. However, some sellers or developers can give a higher percentage like 6 or 7% or even higher than that to motivate agents to sell their property fast. In getting listings, not all agents also compute what the net amount of the seller would be. For example, a seller has a 10 million house in Xavier Estates. You need to break down to the seller what his net amount will be to avoid any surprises later on. We had some agents in our team get listings that were priced at seller's net, meaning it did not include the broker's fee. So now what are the expenses of the seller? So typically, seller's expenses are the broker's fee at 5%, and then they should also update the real property tax and update the homeowners association dues upon closing. So if the property is 10 million less broker's fee, let's say 500K, real property tax, say it's 5,000, and then homeowners association dues is at 10,000. So once you compute all that, you deduct that from the 10 million, then the seller's net will be 9.485. Sellers need to know their net amount upfront so you can price the property correctly. So whether the property is mortgaged, whether it's fully paid, or whether it's for assumption, usually the broker's fee is 5% and it is based on the total contract price and not the assumed price. So again, you need to set this with the sellers in advance because I had a broker friend who had a miscommunication with the seller. She was handling a property for assumption, and then she assumed that the broker's fee would be based on the total contract price, which is the standard. But the seller also assumed it would be based on the assumed price, which was a lot lower than the TCP. So with the miscommunication there, that can be avoided by just laying out everything upfront in the open. So again, 4 common mistakes buyers make in hiring a real estate agent are: mistake number 1, not researching or interviewing multiple agents. Number 2, hiring their relative, friend, or neighbor without checking their qualifications as an agent. Third is not setting clear expectations. And fourth, not discussing compensation and fees up front. And that is it for today's vlog. If you have questions, make a comment in the comment section. And if you want to be updated on the newest projects in VisMin and latest real estate how-tos, send me an email so I can add you to my mailing list.